Welcome to Our Coast, Our Energy, and Our Future. We would like to invite you on an odyssey through the incredible region of the Cape Fear, a place we proudly call home. Our coastline offers the Wilmington population and visitors alike a vast opportunity to enjoy our golden beaches and to splash in our waves. This program will allow the viewers to see not only the wide expanse of our coastline, but to also see what lies beneath the waves. They will also watch as we explore the rich nautical heritage that belongs to the Cape Fear region. The coast of Wilmington offers spectacular views of marine life unique to our coast, as well as sunken ships of the Civil War and the World War II eras. It will also show the terrain that our marine life and sunken ships inhabit. For viewers not accustomed to diving, or ones that have ever wondered what lives beneath the waves, Our Coast will take them on an underwater journey. Come and share the adventure as a group of scuba divers explore the ledges and shipwrecks off Writghtsville Beach. The coastline surrounding Wilmington, ranging from Writghtsville Beach to Curie Beach, is not only rich in history and natural beauty, but is also the home of some of the East Coast's most unique and exquisite underwater sites.
Well, if you lived in the Raleigh area about 5 million years ago, you wouldn't have had to drive all the way down to Wilmington to go to the beach. The beach was right in your own backyard. And that's because the water level, the sea level, was about 300 to 400 feet higher than it is today. And the coastline was up here around Raleigh. The city of Fayetteville, or where it now stands, was completely underwater. As the Ice Age began, more and more seawater began to be locked up on the Canadian Shield and in northern Europe and even in the upper Midwest. Now that water had to come from somewhere, and it was from the ocean. So the water level receded. It dropped to about 600 to 900 feet altogether, so that 18,000 years ago, the beach was way out here, about 400 miles east of Wilmington. And they say that great herds of grazing animals were out here. We can't find their fossils because they'd be buried underwater today. By the 10,000 years ago, the melting of those glaciers was almost complete. And the shoreline had moved back to where it is right now, and it is still rising at a rate of about 1 foot a year, and some people say it's accelerating faster than that.
The Banks Channel side of Writghtsville Beach used to be marshland. That road was paved there to handle cars in the 1930s. Before the turn of the last century, Writghtsville Beach was called Oceanview Beach, and during that time there used to be a train that ran down here from 1898 to 1902 as a steam train, and it was called the Oceanview Railroad. And they started running electric cars down here. So to entice people to ride their cars down here, in 1905 they built Lumina Pavilion on the south end of the island. Most people would come down here and rent swimsuits at a bathhouse, say Lumina or a competing bathhouse next door. They had men's and women's. And during holidays like the 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day, tons of people would come down here on the beach cars, and they would have events like foot races, canoe races, greased pole climbs, beautiful beach baby contests, you name it, they had a contest. Sometimes we have gotten some Civil War cannonballs because there were some blockade runners that ran aground or were forced aground or sunk off of Writghtsville Beach.
The North Carolina coast is known as the graveyard of the Atlantic, and as I mentioned, we have records of over 5,000 shipwrecks. So I guess in one sense it certainly guarantees job security because we're never going to run out of shipwrecks to look at.
The office actually started here, was created by state law in 1967 to deal primarily at that point in time with the Civil War shipwrecks in and around Fort Fisher. My primary position right now is the project archaeologist for the Queen Anne's Revenge shipwreck project in Beaufort Inlet.
Now we've returned to the site, have brought up thousands of artifacts, and everything that we've found continues to support that identification of the shipwreck as Queen Anne's Revenge.
Anything that comes from a submerged environment needs to be stabilized. Pretty much every object will degrade, whether it's metal, rusting, oxidizing, wood becoming waterlogged and breaking down. It all degrades in a submerged environment, and the process of removing the water, and in the case of seawater, removing the salts from the artifacts is a costly and time-consuming process.
That's another challenge of our job, is we can't go out, stabilize and protect all these shipwrecks. So what we try to do is document through photography and primarily through mapping, taking down slates and tapes and measurements to try to record what the site looks like when we first find it, because that's oftentimes the best preservation is to record those details when you can.
In reality, when you excavate a site or when you do archaeology, you're destroying it. Archaeology is a systematic destruction of a site. And that's one of the reasons why you carefully document every aspect of the site as you can, because once it's excavated, you can never put it back.
And yeah, it's a very exciting feeling to go back to these museums, see these artifacts on display, see them being interpreted, and seeing the people getting the benefit of this work that we performed.
The rest of the Atlantic continental shelf is just a sandy bottom, and it's not all that hospitable for sea life. But on these vertical surfaces where there's limestone, which is just right for sponges and coral and a lot of these invertebrates, they were colonized by these creatures, and smaller fish and then larger and larger fish were attracted, so that now it is just a very, very rich environment. And that's exactly what you see when you look into our Cape Fear Shoals exhibit here at the aquarium.
The North Carolina Aquarium at Fort Fisher offers visitors a wide range of aquatic displays involving saltwater and freshwater exhibits, as well as free educational programs.
We started as a Marine Resources Center, basically doing research, education at a small scale, approximately 25 years ago. As time has passed, we've increased our size and our scope and our realm of activities of what we could do for the public.
We have programs every day that are available for free throughout the aquarium, including interactive dive shows, presentations in our auditorium, interactive programs at the exhibits. We also have programs in our classrooms, story time and discovery labs. Take kids out into the salt marsh, introduce them to our backyard animals. We go into schools and do outreach in the schools. We do teacher workshops, train teachers so that they can use some of the environmental education curriculum. It's a wide variety of programs that we offer.
Maintaining the overall health and well-being of the animals within our collection. So everything from reptiles, amphibians, invertebrates being jellyfish, touch tank animals, starfish, sea urchins, all the way up to our sharks, large bony fishes, everything like that. We are in charge of maintaining the health. We go out, we collect these animals, we bring the animals in, we monitor their health by putting them through a series of treatments to clean up any parasites. And from that point on, we maintain these as best we can to keep them healthy.
But everything that you see behind me is found in North Carolina waters. A lot of people don't realize a lot of these species are very common. You just don't see them because you wouldn't be able to unless you were in an aquarium or scuba diving.
Although our coastal region is home to hundreds of fish species, grouper, hogfish, spadefish, and amberjack are just a few we would like to show you.